The bell rang. Students rushed into the classroom, talking, laughing, and taking their seats. The air was loud with noise, but one girl walked in quietly, holding a guitar in her hands. Her name was Anya. Anya was shy. She didn't talk much. She usually sat in the back, alone. Today, she had brought her old guitar with her. It was scratched, the paint was fading, and a string was slightly loose. But to her, it was special. It once belonged to her father. As she entered, some students noticed the guitar and started whispering. "Why is she carrying that old thing? Is she trying to show off now?" Anya looked down. She had heard these kinds of comments before, but today was important. Today, she had promised herself something. She would play no matter what. The class teacher walked in. His name was Mr. Rajan. He was known for being strict. He didn't like students wasting time. He believed in discipline, not dreams. As he began the class, he noticed Anya's guitar. He stopped and asked, "Why are you carrying that into my class, Anya?" The whole class turned to look at her. Anya stood up, her hands shaking. "Sir, I wanted to play something. Just 1 minute," she said softly. Mr. Rajan raised an eyebrow. He didn't smile. Instead, he looked annoyed. "Oh? And now we are running a music show in my class?" he said sharply. The class laughed. Anya's heart dropped, but she didn't sit down. "I just want to play one song," she said again, her voice firmer this time. The teacher stared at her. Then after a long pause, he said, "Fine. Come in front. Let's all listen to your little performance." It wasn't kindness. It was sarcasm. He thought she would mess up, and he wanted to prove a point. Anya walked slowly to the front. Her palms were sweaty. She looked at the class. All eyes were on her. Some looked bored. Some were smiling, ready to laugh. She took a deep breath and sat on the chair near the board. She placed the guitar on her lap, closed her eyes, and thought of her father. Her father used to sing to her every night. His voice was soft, full of love. Before he passed away, he taught her one song. She had practiced that song 1,000 times. Now was the moment. She placed her fingers on the strings and played the first chord. It was perfect. The room went silent. The sound was soft, but it touched something deep. She played the second chord, then the third. Her fingers moved like they were telling a story. Mr. Rajan stood still. He didn't expect this. She continued playing, a simple, emotional melody. It wasn't loud. It wasn't fast. But it had feeling. It had pain. It had beauty. For the first time, the students stopped whispering. One by one, they began to listen. Some even looked surprised. When she finished, there was silence. No one laughed. No one clapped. They were just quiet. Anya slowly opened her eyes. She looked at the teacher. He was looking at her, not with anger, but with something else. His eyes were wide, almost shiny. He didn't say anything for a moment. Then he spoke, but this time his voice was softer. "Where did you learn that?" Anya looked at him and said, "My dad taught me, before he died." There was a pause. Mr. Rajan looked away for a second, then looked back at her. His face had changed. He didn't look like the same strict teacher anymore. There was a sadness in his eyes. "Thank you for sharing," he said quietly. "You can take your seat." Anya walked back, her guitar still in her hands. The class didn't laugh. They didn't whisper. They just watched her. Something had changed, not just in the classroom, but also in the heart of Mr. Rajan. He kept looking at Anya, lost in thought. That song, that sound, it reminded him of something, of someone. Could it be? He didn't say more, but inside, a memory had returned, a name, a voice. And for the first time in many years, Mr. Rajan felt something he had locked away long ago. After the class ended, students slowly walked out, whispering to each other. That was unexpected. She can really play. I didn't know she was so good. Anya stayed in her seat, quietly packing her guitar. Mr. Rajan sat at his desk, lost in thought. He didn't say anything, but his eyes followed her as she left the room. That song, that chord, it was a memory, one he had buried for years. Flashback. Begins years ago, Mr. Rajan was not a teacher. He was young, full of dreams, and music was his life. He played the guitar in college with his best friend, Ravi. Ravi had a deep voice and a soft heart. He was the kind of person who made everyone feel warm and safe. They wrote songs together, performed on stage, and dreamed of becoming famous one day. But then, one day, Ravi stopped playing. He said he wanted a simple life. He said he had met someone special, a girl named Meera. Soon, Ravi got married and had a baby girl. Her name was Anya. Mr. Rajan still remembered the day he met baby Anya for the first time. She was only a few months old. Ravi held her in his arms and said, "Someday, I'll teach her to play, just like us." Mr. Rajan smiled and replied, "Then she'll be better than both of us." But life had other plans. A year later, Ravi died in a road accident. Mr. Rajan was heartbroken. He couldn't bear to touch a guitar again. Music reminded him of his friend. So he left it all behind and became a teacher. He never tried to find Meera or Anya again. Back to present now, all these years later, that same song, the one they had written together, played again in his classroom. And the girl who played it, could it be her? Was this shy, quiet student Ravi's daughter? He needed to be sure. Anya's side of the story after school, Anya walked home. Her guitar hung over her shoulder. Her house was small, 2 rooms, an old fan, and a kitchen that smelled of tea. Her mother, Meera, was waiting at the door. "You brought it?" she asked, pointing to the guitar. Anya smiled and nodded. "I played in class today," she said. Meera looked surprised. "Really? What happened?" Anya told her everything. How the teacher had called her in front of the class, how everyone laughed, and how she played the song anyway. Meera's eyes filled with tears. "That song, your father wrote it for me," she whispered. "You were just a baby when he used to sing it every night." Anya sat beside her mother. They talked about Ravi, about how he loved music, about how he promised to teach Anya someday. "But he didn't get the chance," Anya said softly. "No," Meera replied. "But maybe now, you'll carry his dream." Anya looked down at her guitar. "I want to," she said. "But I don't know if I'm good enough." "You are," her mother said. "You just don't know it yet." Next day in school, Mr. Rajan stood at the window, waiting. He saw Anya walking into school. He called her before class. "Can I talk to you for a minute?" he asked. Anya was nervous. "Yes, sir." He looked at her carefully. "Who taught you that song?" Anya replied. "My dad. He died when I was little, but he sang it all the time." Mr. Rajan took a deep breath. "What was his name?" "Ravi," she said. "Ravi Sharma." His heart stopped for a moment. It was true. She was Ravi's daughter. He turned away, hiding the emotion on his face. "I knew him," he said finally. "We played music together. In college. He was my best friend." Anya looked at him with wide eyes. "You knew my father?" "Yes," Mr. Rajan said. "And the song you played, we wrote it together." Silence filled the room. Something had connected between them. Not just teacher and student, but something deeper, something old, something emotional, a bridge between past and present. The classroom was quiet. Anya sat across from Mr. Rajan, her guitar resting beside her. He still couldn't believe it, all these years, and Ravi's daughter had been right in front of him. "I have something to show you," Mr. Rajan said. He opened an old drawer in his desk and pulled out a dusty notebook. The cover was torn, but the pages inside were full of music, handwritten chords, lyrics, and song ideas. "This was mine and your father's," he said softly. "We used to write songs here." Anya touched the pages gently like they were treasure. "I didn't know he wrote so much," she said. "He was a poet," Mr. Rajan replied, "but the world never got to hear his words." He looked at her. "But maybe they still can." A quiet decision. From that day, something changed. Mr. Rajan began calling Anya after class, not for punishment, but for practice. They sat in the empty classroom while other students went home. He helped her with new chords, taught her old songs, and showed her how to control rhythm and emotion. At first, Anya was unsure. Why was the strictest teacher suddenly helping her? But soon she realized he wasn't just teaching her music, he was passing on her father's dream. Not everyone was happy, but things weren't easy. One day, Anya's classmates saw her practicing with Mr. Rajan after school. "Wow," said a girl named Tanya. "So now the teacher has a favorite?" A boy laughed. "Maybe she's trying to get good marks with music instead of homework." The comments hurt Anya, but she didn't reply. She knew what she was doing mattered. Still, the whispers began to spread. "She's acting like a star. She's using sympathy. She thinks she's better than us." Even some teachers started to notice the extra time Mr. Rajan was giving her, but he didn't care. He remembered Ravi's words. "Music isn't about showing off. It's about healing people, including yourself." A new song one afternoon, Mr. Rajan handed Anya a page from the old notebook. "Your father never finished this one," he said. "We only wrote the first verse. I want you to write the rest." Anya read the words. "In the silence of the night, a voice still sings in me. A dream not gone, just sleeping, waiting to be free." Tears formed in her eyes. She took the paper home and stayed up all night, writing. By morning, she had completed the song. The change in Mr. Rajan. Other students noticed Mr. Rajan had changed too. He smiled more. He listened more. He seemed lighter. A few weeks passed. The bond between Anya and Mr. Rajan grew stronger. After school, they worked together every day, building songs, refining melodies, and practicing vocals. One day, the school announced something big. The annual music competition, open to all students. It would be held in front of the whole school. Parents and guests would also attend. The winner would represent the school at the city level. When Anya saw the notice on the board, her heart beat faster. This could be her first real chance. "The entry, mister." Rajan saw the excitement in her eyes. "You should enter," he said calmly. "But what if I mess up in front of everyone?" Anya asked. He looked at her and smiled. "You won't. You're ready." Anya nodded. She believed him. She filled out the form and signed her name. Soon, her name was added to the list. Contestant number 7, Anya Sharma. That one line made some students raise their eyebrows, especially Tanya, the most popular girl in class, and a trained singer. She had been the winner for 2 years straight, and she didn't like the idea of someone like Anya stepping into her spotlight. Whispers begin. She thinks she's some star now. She's only getting help because the teacher likes her. She's not even that good. Tanya and her group laughed behind Anya's back. Sometimes they did it right in front of her, but Anya kept practicing. She remembered her mother's words. "You're stronger than you think." Rehearsal day, 2 days before the competition, the school held a rehearsal on stage. All participants were given 5 minutes to practice. When it was Anya's turn, she walked onto the stage nervously, her guitar in hand. Her palms were sweaty and her knees felt weak. But then she saw Mr. Rajan sitting in the front row, nodding gently. She took a deep breath. and began. The moment she played the first chord, the auditorium fell silent. Even teachers in the hallway peeked in. Her song was new, the one she had completed with her father's unfinished lines. Her voice was soft, but full of feeling. The guitar and her voice moved as one. Tanya, watching from backstage, frowned. "She's better than I thought," she muttered. After the rehearsal, several students came up to Anya. "That was beautiful. Where did you learn to play like that?" "You gave me goosebumps," Anya smiled shyly. It was the first time people saw her, really saw her. But behind those kind words, jealousy was growing. A plan in the shadows that night. Tanya met her friend behind the school canteen. "She can't win," Tanya said. "We have to do something." "What do you mean?" her friend asked. "Just make sure her guitar doesn't sound so perfect on the final day." A dangerous idea was forming. Competition day. The big day arrived. The auditorium was full. Parents, teachers, and even the principal were there. Students sat nervously backstage, holding their instruments, fixing their hair, clearing their throats. Mr. Rajan found Anya just before her turn. "Are you ready?" he asked. She nodded. "I'm a little scared." "Good," he said with a smile. "That means you care." As contestant number 6 finished, Anya was called. She walked to the stage slowly, her guitar strapped in place. The lights were bright. The crowd was silent. She sat on the stool, took a deep breath, and strummed the first chord. Crack! Something was wrong. The strings snapped. The sound echoed painfully in the auditorium. Gasps filled the room. Anya froze. Her face turned white. She looked down. Her guitar string had been cut, not broken by accident. It had been cut carefully. She looked toward Mr. Rajan. He stood up, shocked. Whispers began. "She's not ready. She doesn't know how to fix it. She's wasting time." Tears welled up in Anya's eyes. Had it all ended here? The room was silent. Everyone stared at Anya, standing on stage with a broken guitar string and tears in her eyes. Her hands trembled. Her lips didn't move. Then, from the crowd, a voice spoke clearly. "Let her sing without the guitar." It was Mr. Rajan. He stood up, calm and confident. "Music doesn't live in strings," he said. "It lives in the soul." The principal hesitated for a moment, then nodded. "Very well," he said. "Anya Sharma may continue without the guitar." A moment of decision. Anya's heart pounded. She looked down at her guitar. Her safety. Now it was useless. She looked out at the crowd, so many eyes, some curious, some doubtful, some hoping she'd fail. Then she looked at Mr. Rajan. He gave her the smallest nod. "You can do this," his eyes seemed to say. Anya took a deep breath. She closed her eyes, and she began to sing the song of her father. In the silence of the night, a voice still sings in me, a dream not gone, just sleeping, waiting to be free. Her voice was soft, a whisper. Then it grew stronger, clearer, full of feeling. People stopped moving. Even Tanya backstage froze in place. This wasn't just a song. It was a story, a memory, a prayer. Every word carried the weight of pain, loss, and love. "Though the world forgot your name, I will sing it loud and true, because the light you gave to me still burns in what I do." Some parents had tears in their eyes. Teachers sat still, listening closely. And Mr. Rajan, he didn't blink once. It was the same voice he had heard long ago, Ravi's voice, now living in his daughter. The final note, Anya held the last note longer than expected. It echoed through the hall like a soft echo of hope. When she opened her eyes, the entire room stood up. A standing ovation, claps, cheers, whistles, even from those who once doubted her. Anya stood quietly, eyes wide, not believing what had just happened. Then, slowly, a smile appeared on her face. She bowed and walked off the stage. Behind the curtain, Tanya stood with her arms crossed. Her plan had failed. Not only had Anya survived, she had shined. Tanya's friends looked unsure. "Maybe we went too far," one of them whispered. Tanya didn't reply. But deep inside, she knew something had changed. This wasn't just about a school competition anymore. This was bigger. Results. Time after the final performance, the judges came on stage to announce the winner. Everyone held their breath. Third place, second place. "And the first prize," said the judge, "goes to..." A pause. "Anya Sharma." The hall erupted again. Anya's mouth dropped open. She walked slowly to the stage as the medal was placed around her neck. Flashbulbs clicked. Her name was written in golden letters on the school's music board. She had done it. She had honored her father's dream. Later that day, as students left the auditorium, many came up to Anya. "You were amazing." "I've never heard something like that before." "You didn't even need the guitar." Anya smiled, thanked them, and looked around for Mr. Rajan. She found him near the staff room. She walked up and quietly said, "Thank you, sir, for believing in me." Mr. Rajan looked at her kindly. "No, thank you for reminding me who I am." Anya was sitting by the window, her medal still hanging. On the wall beside her, it had been 2 days since the competition. Her phone buzzed. A message. "Please be at school tomorrow at 9 a.m. sharp. Someone special is coming to meet you." Mr. Rajan, she read it twice. Someone special. Who could it be? A mysterious visitor. The next morning, Anya arrived early. The school seemed quiet, even though it was full of students. At 9 a.m., a black car stopped outside the school gate. The door opened, and a tall man stepped out. He wore a black suit, sunglasses, and carried a file in his hand. Mr. Rajan walked out to greet him. Students began whispering, "Who is he? Is he from a TV channel? Maybe a music company?" The man entered the principal's office. A few minutes later, Anya was called in. Her hands were cold as she walked through the door. "The offer inside." The man stood up and smiled. "Hello, Anya. My name is Mr. Ramesh. I work with Startune Records, a music label in Mumbai." Anya's eyes widened. He placed a file on the table. "I was in the audience during your competition. Your performance was unforgettable." He opened the file and pushed it toward her. "This is a recording contract. We want to produce your first song, the one you sang that day." Anya looked at the papers, confused and speechless. "A real song? On the internet?" "Not just the internet," Mr. Ramesh smiled. "Radio, music apps, YouTube, everywhere." Anya looked at Mr. Rajan. He nodded slowly. "This is real, Anya." A battle inside. Anya left the office with the papers in her hand. Her mind was racing. Was this really happening? From an ordinary girl to this? But with the joy came fear. What if I fail? What if people laugh at me? Am I ready for the world? At home, she showed the contract to her mother. Her mother's eyes filled with tears. "Your father would be so proud," she whispered. Social media storm. The next day, the school's official Instagram page posted a photo of Anya with the caption, "Our star student signs with Startune Records." The post went viral. Hundreds of students liked it. Comments flooded in. "She deserves it." "Proud of you, Anya." Real talent finally noticed, but not all comments were kind. She only got help from the teacher. Too much attention for one girl. Let's see how long she lasts. And from an anonymous account. She stole someone else's spotlight. Time to take it back. Trouble in the shadows. Tanya sat in her room scrolling through the post. Her jaw tightened. She threw her phone on the bed. "This isn't fair," she muttered. Her jealousy had turned into something sharper, something dangerous, and she wasn't planning to stay silent anymore. The studio call a week later, Anya was taken to a small recording studio in the city. The walls were padded, the microphones looked expensive, and headphones covered her ears. Producer smiled. "When you're ready, just sing like you always do." Anya took a deep breath and began. The music started. She closed her eyes and let the song flow. It was the same song, her father's Unfinished. Anya's song was released online. The response was huge. Within a week, it had over 100,000 views on YouTube. People from different cities shared it. Some even made reels with her voice. In school, students looked at her differently now. Some with admiration, some with envy, and some with silent jealousy. The storm begins. One morning, Anya opened her phone and froze. Her name was trending on a school gossip page, but not for the right reasons. "Anya stole the song. It was never hers." She took her father's lyrics and called them original. Mr. Rajan helped her cheat the system. More posts followed. Old pictures of Mr. Rajan and Anya, fake messages, edited screenshots. It was a planned attack, and at the center of it was Tanya. The accusation by lunchtime, the principal called Anya and Mr. Rajan to the office. He looked serious. "We've received complaints," he said. "People are questioning the originality of Anya's song. They believe Mr. Rajan helped her cheat." Anya was shocked. "But that song is my father's. He wrote the first lines before he died. I only finished it." The principal sighed. "I believe you. But social media is loud. The school is under pressure." Mr. Rajan stayed calm, but Anya saw the pain in his eyes. Anya left the office in silence. Her classmates whispered as she walked past. "She lied. I knew it was too good to be true." Fake talent. A night of doubt. That night, Anya sat in her room, her medal in one hand, and her father's old diary in the other. She felt broken. Why is it so hard to follow a dream? She opened the diary. On the first page, her father had once written, "Music is truth. The world may lie, but your voice never should." Tears rolled down her cheeks. She wiped them and stood up. No more hiding. A voice unfiltered. The next morning, Anya posted a video online. No filters, no music, just her and her truth. She held up her father's diary. "This is my father's voice. He passed away before he could finish his song. I completed it. Not to become famous, but to feel close to him again." She paused. "I didn't steal anything. I'm just a girl, trying to sing with honesty." Then she sang, just like she did the first day, with nothing but heart. The internet responds within hours. Her video exploded. People shared it across platforms. "Now this is real." Her story made me cry. From hate to hope. "Anya, we're with you." Even musicians from other cities commented. And the gossip page? It deleted all the posts, quietly. Truth comes out later that week. A student anonymously confessed to the principal. It was Tanya. She had created the fake screenshots. She had asked someone to post lies. When the truth came out, she was suspended from school activities. Mr. Rajan was cleared of all blame. And Anya? She was stronger than ever. A stage bigger than dreams won. Month later, Anya stood on a new stage, not in school. Not in her room, but in Mumbai at a live concert, her first real performance. The crowd clapped before she even sang a word. Mr. Rajan was in the front row. So was her mother. Anya closed her eyes and began the same song once more. But this time, she added a new line at the end. "From silence I was born. Through pain I found light. Now I sing not just for one, but for every voice still lost in night. The lights dimmed, the crowd stood up, and Anya smiled, not because she was famous, but because she was finally free.